If you have ever felt like you do not belong, there is fear involved. Fear that you are not good enough, fear that you are not qualified. Most likely you grew up in a dysfunctional environment, home environment, unstable, or just not like a nuclear family, you know? And then when you coming up, it's like you're watching everybody around you play the game of life, but you're the only one that doesn't know the rules, you know? Sometimes what can make it even worse is when you work up the courage to put yourself out there in any given situation and you're met with ridicule or it backfires on you, you know, and then it makes you sink even deeper into isolation and just double down on your self-image that you've created for yourself, right? And then we adopted an identity from a young age that we are damaged, and then we seek out other damaged people subconsciously because they make us feel safe. They make us feel not judged, you know, even if those people are not good for us to be around, or we may not be good to be for them, to be around them, you know, for their growth. And then these kind of feelings grow into adulthood. And at least for me, you know, I've had feelings in the past where I don't want to be around people that have it all together, because then it'll make me feel inadequate about myself and my situation. And then because of that, like, it used to do the opposite of inspire me. You know, now I draw inspiration from those kind of people. But back then, I just wonder, like, how do certain people just have it all together? And, you know, deep down, nobody has it all together on the inside, but I don't know, maybe people put up a good facade, but some people really do, you know, they have it all together. They always moving forward, always know the right thing to say. They don't self-sabotage. It just kind of brings out an inadequacy deep inside us to the surface, right? Crazy thing is, a lot of these people that have it all together are some of the coolest people you'll ever meet, bro. Some of the least judgmental people, some of the most chill people, and some of the most judgmental, like, bitter people that you will meet are the ones that, you know, have that unresolved hurt deep down. And that was me, man, for a long time. I mean, still residual, probably a little bit I have in me. I'm working on getting it out though, man. I'm doing a lot. In reality, we end up becoming the judgmental ones because we assume that they're focused and thinking about our inadequacies when they're probably just chilling and thinking about their forward growth and forward motion. So, you know, it's important to take a page from their book, those people that operate like that, right? But with that being said, life is gray areas. It is not, everything is not in black and white. And once you can shift your mindset from seeing everything in black and white to everything has gray areas, everything is malleable, that's when you know you're starting to heal. That is a key sign that you are starting to heal, or at least grow into a new mindset. This feeling of not belonging followed me around when I was a kid. And I can't even tell you where it came from. I don't know. Still working on self-discovery, right? But, and I had a lot of friends as a kid. I did. I always had a group of friends, but I always felt still isolated. And I remember I would just say off the wall shit, bro. I would just say the most random things, just do weird stuff, you know? So because of that, I kind of just became quiet. Like, if you know me now, a lot of people will say I'm quiet. I don't talk a whole lot. But when I was a kid, up until, like, I would say 8th grade, I was a lot more expressive. But I just took the ridicule and other people's opinions to heart, and then it dimmed me down a lot, bro. For real, I really dimmed down, like, ways I wanted to express myself, but also happened at home, because, you know, I guess, similar situations with parents, you know, similar situations with parents. If I expressed myself in a certain way or did too much, then I was met with ridicule, you know, from both parents, to be honest. My parents were together, but just in different ways. You know, I was met with ridicule on both sides in different ways. So, man, it was just like it felt like a lot of eggshell walking, you know? So then some of us go deeper into isolation as we get older. We seek out substances, drugs, you know, sex, entertainment, any type of short-term pleasure that you can think of. We will do it to escape from our current reality, and in the process, all we do is self-sabotage, and it keeps us in a hamster wheel until we finally just, the universe has a way, bro, of teaching you the same lesson over and over and over again in different ways until you finally learn, you know. Side note, man, just remember the key thing is we cannot control being triggered by things that people do, but you can take a deep breath and control how you react to these things. You don't have to react impulsively. You know, realize that. Tell yourself you don't have to react impulsively. Then you can start to develop the habit of taking a second and being patient with you and your emotions. Showing patience to yourself is gold, bro. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. But show yourself patience, man, and then just don't react impulsively, bro. That's all I'm trying to say. And believe me, man, I know how natural it is for people like me, or maybe you if you're watching, for us to react impulsively or react in a way that will self-sabotage and just do what we've always done, right? But if we go against how we're feeling, we go against the flow that we've kind of created for ourselves, go against that, bro, then that will plant the seed of change. And even though it's natural for somebody like me, or if you're watching somebody like you, to react negatively or in a way that self-sabotages when we get triggered by somebody or something, if we make the conscious effort to go against the grain and to go against the flow that we usually, you know, however we usually handle it, and that will plant the seed to change. It will plant a seed. Might not change right away, but it will happen. If you just keep giving it a little bit of water, keep feeding it, bro, it will happen over time. Trust me. Bringing it back to the topic of feeling like you don't belong. Another thought I had was, it's like we see other people and they seem so at ease. They seem so fluid with their interactions with other people. It's like they're just all in the flow of nature, and we are like from a different world, you know? You just like, did I miss a meeting, bro? Like, but to be honest, bro, everybody on this earth, we are all just improvising with what we've learned, the knowledge that we've bestowed upon ourselves and came about in our life, and the discernment that God has given us. Hopefully your discernment has been growing. And man, we're all just doing the best we can, bro. Not everybody is as at ease as they make it seem. Now let's add some self-awareness into the equation. Sometimes you may be left out, you may be ostracized because there is something about you that is off-putting to others. I've came to know times in my life where I am putting off bad energy because of bad things I've done in the past. You know, things that I don't know, man, like things I haven't forgiven myself for, or I don't even know how to go into that right now, bro. But basically, man, when you don't feel good about yourself, other people don't want to be around you. They want to be around people that feel good about themselves, because we mirror each other. They want to feel those good feelings too. Nobody wants to be around just negativity and misery, bro. Misery loves company, but the company does not love the misery. What I'm gonna throw out right now is, I've dealt with this so much. When you have just a stressed out or an anxious energy, you know, no matter how hard you try to hide it or how smooth you try to come off, act like everything is okay. People know, people can feel it. You know, over, 90-some% of language, or the way we communicate, is body language. People know, man. So when you try to come across in a certain way, but that's not how you are on the inside at that moment, people know it's disingenuous, man. It doesn't feel like a genuine interaction. Also, bro, I don't really have an inviting demeanor. People tell me I should look happy, smile more, you know. I don't know, bro. It's just how I look. It's how I look. But if you start a conversation with me, bro, I'm cool. Like, you know, I'm not even on that. Another beautiful thing about this, bro, is once you start to open up and be around different types of people that may have not fit in with the old you, or that you're used to being around, now you begin to not only figure out who you are as a person, but more importantly, you begin to figure out who you are not, because now you have different reference points, right? It is deeply rooted in us as human beings to have a sense of belonging. As a kid, I can't really say I ever felt stable. I know me and my mom and my youngest brother, we moved, man, so much. No shots at my mom. Like, I don't regret any of it. It was cool, but man, we lived in 10 different places at least, from elementary to high school, probably more. But I just never felt a sense of belonging, like I belonged anywhere, you know. And I did things to be accepted, sometimes out of desperation. I'm gonna end y'all with this note right here, bro. Study yourself and figure out why you react the way you do to anything, to human interactions, to see what triggers you, you know. Go to therapy. I know this is regurgitated information, man, but breathe, meditation, you know, incorporate some journaling, read. When you read, you can see things from other people's point of view, and it'll broaden the way you think. So that'll kind of expand your mind and open up the way you think, so you can attack life from a different angle. With all that being said, bro, this is not an overnight fix, obviously, but man, I just want to dedicate my life to giving y'all the information I wish I would have known a lot sooner, like in my teenage years or even in my 20s. I mean, I knew a lot of this info in my 20s, but you know when they say if you knew better, you would do better? Not the case for me, bro. I knew better so much times, and I would still do the wrong thing. It's that deep in me. It is that deep in me. I just want to end on this note, man. I'm grateful to God for my viewers, anybody who's watching. I know I took a whole year off. I was going down a really dark hole. Like I just said, even though I knew better, I did not do better. But fully accountable for my actions, and, you know, God has mercy. He has mercy. Not saying that I'm not paying for certain consequences of my actions, definitely. But yeah, man. Forgot where I was going with that, but appreciate y'all, man. Dropping again soon. Stay tuned. We out.